Hello guys, let's continue to learn modern JavaScript. In this session, let's take a look at this keyword. So in JavaScript, we define object like this. We can add a method like this. Then we call the method like this. Then we get an output, hello, for this line, and then we can define a method like this. We have this function, then we set the object method like this, then we can call it, then we get the same result. So we also can define the method within this object like this, say hi equal function, and we also can do the same. So we don't need this function keyword, and we even don't need this calling thing. So we just do this. We will get the same result. So here, the first time we take a look at this. So we have this object, and we have this method inside, and we will call this .name. Let's take a look what we can get if we call this line. So it will call console.log at 65. So we have this output. So join, which is the user's name property. So means this is representing this object, user object. So let's take a look at this one. Since this is representing user, why don't we directly call user? Let's take a look at the result. And 79. Oh, also join. Oh, that's interesting. So why we need this for this case? Yeah, let's take a look at this one. Because the user object can be overwritten like this. After we create a reference of this user, we set the user to null. Then we try to call admin.hi again. Let's reset this one to user. We save it, and it tells us 92. The name of now, because we set user equal now, and when we call this line is broken. So to fix this, we have to use this. After we set user equal now, when we use admin to call the method, this will represent admin object. Then we will get, if we set the admin name equal anything, we will get anything here. So that's why we should use this for this method instead of directly to use user. Okay, let's take a look at this part. We have this function, and we call console.log within this function, then we directly call this function. What do we get? 109. We get nothing, because this is representing the function, the hi itself. So that's why this .name will be undefined. Let's take a look at this part. We have user object, admin object, and we have this function hi. Inside we call this .name, and we set the method like this with the same function. Then we call the function separately, but with user dot and admin dot. So each time when we call it, this will representing user and admin separately. Then we will get the different result, join and admin. If we take a look line 119, we get join admin. And this line is it's telling us another method of calling the method of an object. We can do things like this. get the method out, then use the braces to call the method. It also works. So which is this line. Let's take a look at this one. This one we take a look already. This before we use this dot name. So if we output this line 139, we get nothing. And if we put any property, we also get nothing. This dot name is undefined as well. Let's take a look at this part. So we have this object, two methods, hi and buy, and hi is calling this dot name. So user.hi will call this line, and this will representing the user object. So we will get join here. So let's take a look at this line 154, the first line. Yeah, that's why we got join, and we call this line. So we take a look at this one. It will check the join first. If the name is join, we will call user.hi. Otherwise, call user.buy. So then we call the method. So because this one becomes a separate method, it's like we are creating a separate variable of this method, then call the method. So this variable itself doesn't have this dot name inside. So that's why if we output, we call this line, we get nothing. Like 154, we get nothing here. Then we call that line. The function is still functioning, so we get the join again after we call this line. Then we call this line again, we still get empty output because this one is not working. The reason is because of this. When we do that check, it seems like this. We just set this object method to a variable, then use this variable to call this method. At this moment, this is undefined, and this dot name is undefined as well. Then that's why we get empty. So this line, we get empty. Let's take a look at this part. We have this user object, one property, and one method. The difference is here we use arrow function. So we output this dot first name. In JavaScript, arrow function doesn't have this context. So it will call the outer context. At this point, it's user object. So we will get the first name's value out for this call. So it's this line. That's all for this session. Thanks for watching. See you next time.